What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about Scream 7 in this video here today. We're going to be going over Jude's latest tweet about Gale Weathers and her iconic entrance in the upcoming 7th entry in the long-running franchise. Now, after that, I'll be diving into some other things about Gale, Sidney, some other things you can expect, tease some things about Scream 7, and if you don't want to know any spoilers or potential spoilers, then you shouldn't be watching this video. If you continue to watch and then go on to complain and whine and do all these other obnoxious things in the comment sections, I don't care. I've warned you, and you shouldn't even be watching certain videos anyway at this point if you're familiar with the type of content I upload. Now, let's talk about Jude's tweet. A lot of you have DM'd me talking about this unmasking and what that's about. So Jude put out this exciting tweet a couple of days ago about Gale. He said, Gale comes to town in one of her strongest entrances yet in Scream 7, spiraling through career struggles and tasting her own medicine under cancel culture. She's on the hot seat like never before. She unmasked a key part of the chaos, and her arc is rich and full of substance. So what are these career struggles? What key part is she unmasking? If you followed my video from earlier this year, you'll recall that I revealed Mark Consuelos' character of Robbie, a reporter in town who gives Gale a problem after she has a little accident around the Evans property. Many of you I know read Jude's tweet and probably remembered that video that I uploaded, which I'll link in the comments below as a pinned comment for anyone who wants a refresher to dig a little bit deeper into what Jude is talking about, because it aligns with what I have been saying as far back as January of this year. Gale hasn't had the best turnout with her little morning show, I've told you guys that, and this accident is a perfect opportunity to make her a victim of cancel culture, as Jude puts it. But what is she unmasking? Let's just say it's never been done before in the series. It's never been done before, and a lot of you don't need any more clues to piece what I mean together. For those of you talking about what is she unmasking, I think I've said enough. As for the twins, expect them to be right there with her. From my knowledge, Chad and Mindy are her interns. They are working with her. That's already been talked about. But more specifically, they are apparently her interns. And they'll be a part of the major bait and switch moment that happens in this film, set up by Gale and Sidney, who is also involved in the bait and switch. So there's a big bait and switch moment that's set up by Gale and Sidney, very elaborate, and it involves Chad and Mindy. It's very reminiscent of what happened with Olivia in Scream 4, what happened with Randy in Scream 2, and I'd say what happened with Gale in Scream 6. Just to give a little bit more context as to what scenes you can compare it to, just to also kind of tease you in what to expect when it comes to these outcomes of what I'm talking about with said bait and switch. So that way people don't just immediately hear it's like the Randy moment and think, oh, they're going to kill the twins. They very much so could kill the twins, but now you have a little bit more things that it's similar to. It's not just similar to Randy's big moment like I tweeted. It's similar to a few things we've seen in this franchise because there's been bait and switches in the past films. So 3C Films trailer coverage has echoed my mentions of a mental patient, since Gale and Sidney are expected to investigate this person's stomping grounds. For my PLL fans out there, Pretty Little Liars, who grew up with the OG, yes, if you're familiar with Season 3, Episode 7, like I tweeted, Aria and Hannah's little exchange with Mona towards the end of that episode is similar to what Sidney and Gale go through. Not as much riddles like Maya knew and no one to save Allie from evil, but they'll leave with a big answer about an old friend, just like how Aria and Hannah left with Maya's website. And this answer plants another seed of doubt into the mind of Sidney and us as the audience about a very big puzzle piece that hangs over the entirety of Scream 7. Ethan Embry, which I've talked about before, stars as a character named Marco Davis. Best character I can compare him to from Pretty Little Liars is Ren Kingston, and my reasons for that are related to the fact that in Pretty Little Liars, characters would constantly get answers from Ren when visiting Radley. Take from that what you will. If you want to believe that Marco is a villain, that's fine, and if you aren't all that familiar with Pretty Little Liars, that's even better, because I want to keep this as cryptic as possible for anyone who just wants to dip their toes into the sea of madness that is going to be Scream 7. So there you have it. Jude's tweets shouldn't be discredited until proven otherwise. I can only speak for myself with this next half, but there's a handful of material that could be shared right now. It's just not something I plan on doing. I said Stu's house was coming back. It's back. I teased Matthew's return on Twitter in December. He's back. Had my Jasmin return video up fast for a reason. Brought up Mark Consuelos' role. the school play, etc. I'm not going out of my way to just make all of this up when it keeps aging quite well. Like I've stated, I've seen Sydney in her final act appearance, and she looks really hot. I've also seen Anna Camp's attire as Jessica, and she also looks lovely. I've seen a shade of Gale and Sydney's big moment that I've teased, and for those of you who have been online scrambling for information, you know exactly what that big moment is. It ties into the bait and switch with Chad and Mindy. And I've now seen the nut job that I revealed earlier this year, the mental patient, and what he looks like. And let's just say it's giving unkempt CC Drake when we first met her at the start of the episode she'd appeared in season 3. I think that was also episode 7. We met her in a coffee shop. So you take again from that what you will as it pertains to the very first time you will see the mental patient and what capacity that will involve. I will say that I am on board with how they have tackled the Stu angle, because there are some solid twists that justify why Sydney is doubting his status as maggot food. I myself will probably start doubting it too. Granted, I don't think I actually would if I were in her shoes, but I can see why she's doubting it given how well written they have taken this angle. And I will again stress, it does not seem that they are going to pull the trigger on what many of you want with Stu this time around. I'm not going to say that it won't happen in a future film, but if you're someone who wants to see it in 7, I would say dial that back. Dial that back. It might happen in 8, it might happen in 9. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he will forever remain maggot food, but I'm very curious to see how Stuthers react to how they utilize that big theory in this film. I want to see if people are upset about it, or if they are able to just say, hey, well, it's not the outcome I wanted, but the way they used it was still very effective, because I myself, being someone who doesn't want him to be alive, am quite satisfied with how they used him. And I think they gave some pretty justifiable reasons for Sydney to doubt that he is still 6 feet deep. And as far as the rest of the film goes, while I was someone who had my doubts about it, the more I've learned, spoiler-wise, the more I am starting to be someone who is like, okay, even if I don't prefer this one over Scream 6 and Scream 5, because at the end of the day, it's just the same song and dance when it comes to Sidney Prescott, a character I love very much. If it is a competent film, I'm going to come on here and tell you it is a competent film. I am not going to just dog walk it because it's not about Sam Carpenter anymore. I do not operate that way. I am going to try to remain as unbiased as I can when it's time to review this movie. And right now, all they have to do is execute this well, because on paper, Scream 7 sounds like another hit for this franchise. It just is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can never miss a video. In the description, I have links to all of my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course. Let me know if there are any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.